Um, well, we started in about 1973, didn't we?
Yes.
Sarah did 90% of the work on Earls Colne, and I did 10%, and others did other things as well. But I mean, most of it was Sarah's work. And we worked from 1973 in a small project team. It was the first one I'd been involved with. One of the pleasures of my life has been discovering what many scientists know, which is that working with a group of people is often much more productive and much more fun. So we got funding for them from what was then the Social and Science Research Council, SSRC, and is now the Economic and Social Science Research Council, ESRC. Became the longest project they'd ever funded. They gave us grants from 1973 to 1981. And so we built up a little team. There was Sarah and Jessica King were doing the data preparation with the help of Sherry Bryant and a little bit my mother occasionally. And then we had a succession of computer people, and particularly Charles Jardine and Tim King worked on the data processing. So it was important historically because this is the only project of its kind that's ever been done in this country. The 500 years of the history of an English village. Probably the only one that ever will be done, because in current day costs it would cost well over £500,000 to do this sort of project. It was extremely difficult because the computer technology was just being invented at that time. So Sarah started with paper tape punch machines, huge typewriters like this. You had to, if you wanted to print uppercase, you had to do the opposite of what you now do.
Or do with a typewriter.
With a typewriter. So everything was normally an uppercase, and you had to press something to make it into lowercase. It made so much noise that you had to wear things which
ear defenders,
which people use for shooting guns. It was so heavy that it nearly broke the car in which it was carried. It's now in the Museum of the Computing Service in Cambridge. And it produced long strands of paper.
Called a flexowriter.
Paper tape, which you fed into the computer. Now, as Sarah mentioned, the computing software was changing very fast then. This was a revolutionary project in Cambridge because it was the first project around which new database systems were being written. But the computer technology was changing so fast that Sarah had to do this again and again and again. She would put it in one form, and then the computers would move on, and they'd say, "Oh no, you left out half the records." And so it was a huge intellectual effort. We used to go in every day, winter, summer, sitting in my room in the department, working until 7 or 8 at night, very often. Our children hardly ever saw us. They sort of forgiven us, but it loused up their childhood to a certain extent. Because we were workaholics, and Sarah worked weekends and evenings on this dedicated project to take our minds back through 500 years of English history.